Robert's Seafood offers a large variety of easy-to-prepare fresh seafood, meat, and organic vegetables. Robert's has recipe suggestions that take only 15 minutes from preparation to eating. Robert's Seafood Market is at 1615 West Jefferson and online at robertseafoodmarket.com. Robert's Seafood Market is the old-fashioned market with fresh
Please remain standing for the playing of our school song.
We're loyal to the Southeast Spartans, blue, white, and gold. Here we go. Team tonight, we're going to win this game tonight. That's what the Southeast fight song ends the last verse. You got to repeat that verse if you are correct in singing the school song, which the band is playing. We're loyal to the Southeast Spartans, blue, white, and gold. Let's cheer them on to victory as years and times unfold.
Hope somebody got that on tape,
joy,
by the way.
Our honor is our thing. Stand up and cheer our team tonight. We're going to win this game.
Oh, wait a minute.
How's that?
You've got it on tape.
That tape will be deleted at the earliest possible convenience. Here we are at Southeast. Band's cranked up. Cheerleaders and Palms are cranked up. See if the players are cranked up for a good ball game. Palms, in fact, had a chicken dinner fundraiser here this evening, just down the hall. And for $10, you got a half a grilled chicken, mashed potatoes, sweet corn, and dessert. Actually, I had to pay a little extra for the dessert, but it was good. And we wish the Palms well in their fundraising chicken dinner tonight. Of course, Southeast is famous for the LT chicken and ribs dinner that's held each fall. And LT cooks that chicken. They catered this chicken tonight. It was good, but got to tell you, LT's chicken and ribs each fall, that's the best. Here tonight, I wonder if LT's basketball team can beat the Railers, and John Lincoln breaks out the red unis for this game. Oftentimes they wear green on the road, but they are in bright red tonight. Good thing we know who these players are because they're red numbers on red jerseys.
Yeah, white outline around those red numbers, but they are tough to read if you get up too high. I think we're close enough here that it shouldn't be an issue, and it's the usual starting five for Lincoln of Max Cook, Joey Olden, Tyler Horsham, Gavin Block, and Edward Bowlby. They are playing very well again. They just had that one stumble, and honestly, they didn't play poorly at Lanphier. You saw the game I did, and it sounds like they had that game right where they wanted to until the last second putback by the freshman Yakima Rose for Lanphier sent that game into overtime. They stumbled, perhaps understandably, against Wayne McLean Champaign Central team the next night. I'm a little surprised they lost that game at home. I thought they might get through this season without a blemish on their home record. Of course, one of the big challenges they'll have to try to have just a one-loss season at home is coming up in a few weeks when they take on Lanphier at the end of the regular season. You look at the Lanphier win by 20 last night in Chatham, Tim. Lanphier is going to be a prohibitive favorite in the rest of their games prior to that Lincoln game.
Yeah.
Prior to the Lincoln game. So there's a very good chance Lanphier is going to be 25-0. going into that Lincoln game. Their only non-conference game is a home game against Peoria Central, which is down a bit this year.
Yeah, they've won 2 games all season.
Is that right? Yeah. I didn't realize they were still struggling that much. Wow.
Manual came back and beat them last night. Peoria Central having a tough year, and in fact, we'll broadcast that game in a few weeks on a Saturday night at Lobernica Gym. Here tonight, it's Lincoln and Southeast. We're monitoring the championship game of the Auburn Invitational tonight down at Dolio Gym in Auburn between Williamsville and Springfield Lutheran. That game was in overtime in the dying seconds after Lutheran had a lead that went away, and the Bullets tied the game late, and the Bullets have won the game in overtime over Springfield Lutheran 59-51. So that's a second loss of the year for Lutheran. And the Bullets coming from behind in regulation to tie it late and then win it in overtime 59-51. And our thanks to Dave Kane for the score update on that one. And you can read Dave Kane's account of the Auburn Invitational Championship game in the State Journal-Register.
Other 3 scores at Auburn earlier in the day in the 7th place game. It was Hartsburg-Emden over Waverly, 59-38. They'll be taking up again in a few weeks the possibility of Franklin and Waverly co-oping for boys basketball next year. At the moment, Franklin has deferred that issue until a board meeting later this month. Waverly's already on board. Franklin beat Calvary for the second time in 8 days. Beat them 67-63 in the consolation championship game in Auburn. And it was host Auburn defeating North Mac. That's a good win for the Trojans, a 3rd place victory of 60-50.
It's a busy night for Central State 8 basketball. Everybody playing except Glenwood tonight, and everybody's playing here in town. This game here at Southeast between the Spartans and the Lincoln Railers. Springfield High is home. Their opponent this evening is Jacksonville. Sacred Heart Griffin is home on West Washington. Their opponent is Rochester. And Lanphier is home at Lobernica Gym tonight, playing host to Taylorville. We'll try to monitor those games. A full night of CS8 basketball and all 4 games in the conference being played here in Springfield tonight. I don't think that's happened all season until tonight.
Unusual, isn't it? And of course, in the fall, every now and then we have 3 home games here in town for the Springfield teams, and for many, many years that couldn't happen.
Okay, the 6:30 Southeast Lincoln game is going to start at 7 o'clock. And John, who are the starters?
For Lincoln, we gave you the starters. We'll give you a little more detail. Max Cook, 6'2", senior guard, 9 points a game, 4 assists per game. He had 14.7 assists against Sacred Heart Griffin last night. Joined in backcourt by Joey Olden, who is shooting a very high percentage, averaging 6.5, a 6-foot senior guard. Tyler Horsham is kind of a wide body, 5'11 senior. They list him as a forward. He averages 3.9. Edward Bowlby on the front line, 6'3 and a senior, averaging 11.5. And the top scorer and rebounder for the Railers this year is Gavin Block, the only non-senior in the starting 5. Block is a 6'6 junior with averages of 15 points and 6.5 rebounds. Cook, who has a younger brother, Will, who will come off the bench tonight. Olden, Horsham, Bowlby, and Block for Lincoln. Neil Alexander in his 24th year as the Railers head coach, 546 wins, only 175 losses. The Railers are 20-2 this year, 9-1 in the Central State 8, a game and a half behind Lanphier. For the Southeast Spartans at 10-9 and 7-3 in the league. Lawrence Thomas in his 6th year as their head coach. It's been a struggle this year with some shifting personnel, and he's gone with the youth movement, including 5'6 freshman Andre Williams in the backcourt with his 7.6 average. 5'10 sophomore D'Angelo Hughes at a guard, averaging 11.2. B.J. Hill is one of the veterans, 5'9 and a junior guard with an 11-point-per-game average. Sabri Bakari is a forward, 6'4 and a junior, averaging 5.4. And the man in the middle is Jalen Henry, 6'9 and a senior, averaging just under 13 points a game to go with 10.2 rebounds. Williams, Hill, Hughes, Bakari, and Henry for Southeast. The officials hail from the Bloomington Normal Official Association. We've seen Terry Thompson and J.D. Coleman quite a bit over the years, and Dan Schieber is joining them on the call tonight.
You're looking for the Illini game to put in your ear. Brian Barnhart and Jerry Hester are calling the Illinois-Iowa game on 96.7 The Boss, 96.7 FM, WCBS, 96.7 The Boss. For Illinois, Iowa. Iowa leads that game 17-9 with about 11 minutes left in the first half at State Farm Center.
Well, you've turned me off that game already. I guess I'll watch this one.
Yeah, good idea.
Gavin Block at 6'5". Lincoln will head to our left, which is towards the north end of Scheffler Gym. Jalen Henry at 6'9" in white for Southeast.
You may hear a lot of the Southeast fans. They're sitting right in front of us.
And the tap controlled by Southeast.
I say the Lincoln fans
yeah,
sitting right in front of us.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah,
I'm just assuming our listeners knew what you meant too.
The Lincoln fans.
Andre Williams across half court, bullet pass under to Bakari. Good pass. He missed the layup though. Henry with an aggressive rebound, but he's called for the travel as he lost his balance.
Jalen Henry and Sabri Bakari both need to hit the boards hard tonight. It was good to see Henry aggressive going after it, but unfortunately did a little stumble after he grabbed the rebound.
Full court pressure for the Spartans, broken easily. We are scoreless at the 7:35 mark of the first quarter. Cook to Horsham, rises for a left side three that's no good, and Henry has the rebound for the Spartans. That's his second. B.J. Hill across the half-court line to Hughes. Now Lincoln establishes that ever-present 1-2-2. They're giving up an average of only 35 points a game. Here's Hill driving left baseline, giving to Bakari, out to Hill. To Hughes, a right side three is good. D'Angelo Hughes is easily their best three-point shooter. That's his 31st make, and he's over 40% on the year. Southeast with an early 3-0 lead. Lincoln breaks the press, gets it to Bowlby right at the basket. He takes it in and scores off glass. Gavin Block with about a 30-foot pass on the straight line. 3-2 Southeast. Hill for three off the right wing. No good. And the long rebound out to Olden in red for Lincoln. Olden zips to the forecourt, then he simply coughed up the dribble. Southeast comes away with it, and in frustration, Olden reaches in and fouls Hughes of Southeast.
Mentioned there's a CSA game tonight over at Springfield High. The Senators lead Jacksonville after one quarter. At Springfield 22 and the Crimsons 8 after one period.
It'll be a good weekend for the Senators, who won against Taylorville down in Christian County last night. B.J. Hill, corner left to Sabri Bakari. Southeast breaks the press easily. They're up 3-2, 6:30 to play first quarter. Hughes on the right side to Williams, back to Hughes, in the lane to Henry, just inside the high post right. Overblocked, the short shot, topples in. They need Henry to continue to be that assertive at the offensive end. He's off to a good start. Southeast up 5-2, 6:15 in the first quarter. Lincoln across the timeline, Block on the left side. Baseline to Bowlby, out to Block. He's dangerous from the arc, just like almost all of his teammates. Into the corner right to Horsham, and now to Block, outside the three-line right side, up top Bowlby. Very quick passing here. Olden to Block, a left side jumper. Bakari with that great leaping ability got a piece of the shot and it air balls. 5-2 Southeast. Hughes to front court. Corner right to Williams for three, and that's good. Southeast off quickly with an 8-2 lead off the Andre Williams made three. Williams and Isaiah Walton, one of the top reserves and a freshman, are not afraid to pull the trigger on the three-point shots, and LT has given them the green light. Here's a pass tipped away but run down by Block. He gives it out to Olden on the right side, dribbles to the free throw line. The jumper's no good. Henry has his third rebound, and falling down, outlets the ball to B.J. Hill. Hughes back to Hill in backcourt, and now to D'Angelo Hughes. Cross court, Bakari, a right side three. That's no good. He's
I don't want him shooting that.
No, he hasn't made one this year. He's 0 for 11 off that miss. Rebounded by Block. Stop and go drive to the other end. Hard foul by Bakari will send Gavin Block to the line.
8-2 Southeast. 3 minutes into this game here at Scheffler Gym.
Generally speaking, you don't want to put Lincoln on the line, and Block is at 76%. And the first staff carpet free throw of the night topples in off the front of the rim. Lincoln JV is kind of like a mini-me version of the varsity. They run the exact same sets. They're physically, obviously, smaller than most of the varsity kids, but they stepped up, and as Block hits the second free throw here and hit a bunch of consecutive free throws in the overtime to beat Southeast earlier tonight. 8-4 Spartans, 4:57 left to go first quarter. Southeast to front court down at the south end. Side-to-side passing, working the ball quickly. Now Bakari right baseline. Block comes up, gives him the shoulder, and Block to flex the basketball out of bounds.
We mentioned on the pregame, but haven't mentioned lately, that this game is live on Cable Channel 22 in Springfield tonight, courtesy of the Springfield School District. Cable Channel 22 live coverage of this game on TV tonight.
B.J. Hill on the right side for Southeast. To Hughes, left of center to Williams on the perimeter, and we've got a hold foul against Lincoln's Gavin Block off the basketball as he was trying to keep Henry out of a good position down low.
And some of the Lincoln fans say, who's that ref we've not seen before? Why is he making that call?
First on Block. second on the team. 8-4 Southeast, 4:35 first quarter.
He made the call because Block did commit a foul. Definitely contact.
Here's Williams right side for three. No good, much too long. Weak side rebound, Bakari, and he's fouled down on the court. And this time it's Bowlby's turn to complain as J.D. Thompson has the third foul call on a Lincoln player tonight.
Coach Lawrence Thomas has been after Sabrib Bakari to do a better job on the boards. He's an incredible leaper, and he could get more rebounds if he just works at it. And that's one of the points of emphasis the coach has been making to this junior newcomer.
And it comes to Henry in the corner. He's in trouble and threw it away. Lincoln runs the other way, and Horsham lays it up and in.
You can't make lazy passes against most teams, certainly not against a good defensive team like Lincoln.
You want to stay out of the corners, too, and that's where Henry found himself. 8-6 Southeast. Hill skips in on the right side and floats it up and in.
Well, there probably aren't many better penetrators of the lane to get to the basket than B.J. Hill. He's so strong, and he can turn on a dime, really. He gets in tight and he can make a good quick cut, and he did that time.
10-6 Southeast, but Horsham hits a three from left of center for Lincoln, their first of the night.
Horsham's had a quiet scoring season, but look out if he heats up.
10-9 Southeast, midway through the first quarter. In the right corner in front court, Bakari double teamed out to Hill, left side Hughes, quickly to Williams in the left corner. Skip pass to Hill on the right wing. Now Hughes left of center. They attack him, so he gives to Williams. Good ball fake off the baseline. The 15-footer is good.
That freshman, like the injured freshman Travion Williams, has no fear of going inside, and that time good baseline drive by Andre Williams.
12-9 Southeast. He's got 5 early. Lincoln quickly back to front court. It's a rapidly moving first quarter. Here's Block down the lane, a reach-in foul on Hill before he attempted a shot.
It's a good decision by Gavin Block. He's not afraid of B.J. Hill. A lot of people are, but Gavin Block's not afraid of him and went right in on B.J. and forced him to foul him on the way to the basket.
That's the first on Hill, just 2 on the team. Right of the basket, Cook gets it into Bowlby on the right baseline, circles his dribble to the top of the key. Turns and gives to Olden, now to Cook on the right side, penetrating now. Left side pass, Block wide open. He missed the three, though, and another rebound for Henry. He's already got 4. 5 for Henry. All right, 5 rebounds with a basket, and Henry's been very aggressive. Now Henry goes to the basket, gives to Bakari, but he missed the jam. A foul is called, and Sabri Bakari will go to the basket for 2.
Yeah, Bakari kind of got himself a little off balance going up for that stuff. He might have been wiser to lay it in, and he was fouled hard on the play by Lincoln's Max Cook.
And Bakari just at 53%.
That's why you need to make the basket, because he's not good at this.
Yeah, good foul by Cook, and you're right. Bakari was too far from the basket, even with his great leaping ability. And he was a state high jump champ in Mississippi, where he lived the last few years, just last year. First free throw, no good. Second free throw, no good. They were both long. And Block has the rebound for Lincoln, which does have both of the Cook brothers in the game. Will, who is a junior, at 5'11", is out there now. And Will Cook gets it from brother Max, brings it to the top of the key, gives to Horsham. It was Olden who exited. Right side to Block for 3. He got fouled by Henry. That's too much aggression there, and Gavin Block can tie the game with 3 free throws at the 2:35 mark of the first quarter.
Good call. There's definitely a little contact, and Block flopped on the play, but there was definitely contact on the shot.
He made the most of it.
He
Gavin
sure
Block did. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
First on Henry, team foul 3. Block a very steady foul shooter. He's now 3 of 3 as he puts in the first, and it's 12-10 Southeast. Gavin Block averaging 15.6.5 rebounds, and he's the only non-senior in the starting 5. His second free throw is good. Lincoln gets Peyton Ebelair into the game, a 6-foot junior whose last name we'll spell in a moment. He comes in for Tyler Horsham. That's the typical trade that they make. Those two flip-flop during the night. Gavin Block goes 3 for 3. He's got the hat trick. He's made all 5 at the line, and we're tied at 12. 2:30 to go first quarter, and Southeast faces the zone press. They do get it across. They haven't had any trouble with it yet. Henry into the left corner to Williams. Williams drives into a bad position, but he got bailed out, cut off, and fouled down on the baseline, and that'll be 2 on Block.
John, remember when I said Iowa was leading Illinois 17-9 with about 11 minutes left in the half?
Well, you told me that 10 minutes ago, so I barely remember it, but yes, I do remember it.
About 7.5 minutes left in the half now. Iowa 32, Illinois 13.
Wow. I was foolish enough to think Illinois had a chance for the upset tonight.
We'll need a big comeback if that's going to happen.
6'7" junior Adam Conradi, biggest guy on the Lincoln roster, in for blocks. Let's see if Southeast can take advantage of Block's absence. We're tied at 12, 2:10 to play first quarter, Scheffler Gym on a Saturday night. They get a load of Bakari from Williams, but he missed right of the basket, putting it up too hard, rebounded by Max Cook.
Bowlby got away with a push.
Will Cook, forecourt on the right side, stop and go dribble drive. He's going to be a starter next year, and he'll be a good one. Gives it to Max Cook, drives in right side, over Henry, no good. And Henry
got a piece of that, didn't he?
Yeah, he's really getting it done at the defensive end. B.J. Hill to Hughes to try to unlock the tie for three. That one went about the distance of a 4, about a foot over the rim. Lincoln back the other way, a minute 35 to go in the first. We're tied at 12.
They have to guard all their shooters, even the big boys shoot threes.
Will Cook penetrates the Southeast matchup and is called for the travel.
A little bit of a carry on the spin that time for the junior Will Cook.
Nice defense that time by D'Angelo Hughes.
12-12 game with 1:28 left in the first quarter, and a 7 o'clock start for this game tonight after a overtime win for Lincoln in the JV game.
Andre Williams, a baseline drive, flips it up there, no good. Henry tips over the rim, no good. Rebound down to the court, 3 red shirts after it, and they come out of there with Ebelherr retrieving for Lincoln. E-B-E-L-H-E-R-R, Peyton Ebelherr is the victim of a reach-in foul by Hughes of Southeast in backcourt.
Right in front of official Terry Thompson, who had the easiest call he'll make all season. Right 3 feet from the official did D'Angelo Hughes commit that foul.
Bakari will depart. Southeast gets 6'3" junior Harrison DeVoe into the game. Southeast has handled themselves well against the Lincoln pressure early, but they've gone cold of late. And we're tied at 12 with just over a minute. Max Cook, left side Ebelherr, thought about a 3, dribbled past Henry and missed the layup. Coming in off the left side, DeVoe rebounds for the Spartans, who caught a break there. Hill across the timeline with 52 seconds left in the quarter. Bounces right side to Hughes, the prolific three-point threat. Low to Henry, finds his way to the basket and scores over Bowlby.
Boy, does this Lincoln defense put a lot of people on Jalen Henry when he gets the ball near the hoop, and that time he was able to muscle one in.
He's had a big first quarter, 4 points and
7 boards.
7 rebounds off that missed tip a moment ago. 14-12 Spartans. And a blocking foul as Hughes will pick up his second in the last half minute.
Conrad, he thought it was on him. Man, he's big, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's built like an NFL tight end.
6'7", 230, and it's a lot of muscle.
Every bit of that. And he's in there for a block, who has 2 fouls. Hughes stays out there for Southeast. With his second, they'll get him on the next dead ball. Team fouls are 5 per side, 14-12 Southeast, 20 seconds. And Lincoln goes into their patented perimeter weave here. Ball rarely hits the court unless they have a reason to dribble.
Max Cook or Bowlby would shoot here.
As soon as I say that, Max Cook dribbles 4 times. There's Will Cook on the right side. He's going to shoot a 3 and miss it. Still 3 seconds. The rebound deflected out of bounds by Ebelherr, and Southeast has 2.5 with the length of the floor to go.
See if they can lob one up floor for Henry, or maybe the freshman who's just into the game, Isaiah Walton.
There you go. He'll take a 3. That's all he... Oh, he passed it up. Gave it to DeVoe, and they didn't get the shot off. Isaiah, who shoots almost nothing but 3s, was inserted into the game and then didn't shoot the ball.
Should have.
Southeast ran out of time. After 1 quarter, though, Spartans looking pretty good. They lead Lincoln 14-12. Back in a minute.
What color is
Lanphier leads 26-6 after 1 quarter.
We picked the game to go to.
14-12, Southeast leads Lincoln after 1 quarter. Raylor's ball to begin the second.
And block of Lincoln, Hughes of Southeast, each with 2 fouls, remain on the bench for the start of this quarter. Here's the alley-oop play. Max Cook underneath. And the catch was made by Bowlby, who got fouled before he could go back up for the shot.
A couple of other scores in the CS8. At halftime at Springfield High, the Senators lead Jacksonville 33-14. And after one quarter at Lanphier, the #1 Lions lead Taylorville 26-6. They messed around with Taylorville down at Taylorville a few weeks ago, and sound like the Lions are messing around tonight.
That foul was on Henry, so he checks out with 2. Conrad, he misses from 17 on the right baseline. Darius Owsley, the 6'9 junior, who checked in for Henry, grabs the rebound. Long pass ahead, bad pass, thrown by B.J. Hill, picked off easily by Bowlby, and Lincoln down 2 has the ball. Max Cook head of the key, hesitating drive left side, Bowlby, baseline to Conradi. Out to Max Cook on the arc left side. Southeast in a matchup zone. Cook gets the ball over to Ebelair on the right side. Now it's pretty much straight man for Southeast. Max Cook, bullet pass under to Olden, right of the basket, laid it up and in.
Their half-court game is almost flawless. Lincoln, their ability to find a shooter.
Tied at 14, Olden has his first 2 of the night. 7 minutes to go first half. Walton left corner, flips a pass across the court. Bounces to Williams, who rises and misses a 3. Rebounded by Max Cook. Quickly up court to Ebelair in on the left side. And he traveled.
A little hop step as he was gliding in the left side. He could have gone to the basket, but he was going to shovel pass instead to the trailing Olden, and he did take an extra step.
What the Chamber of Commerce from Lincoln think of that call?
They thought Euro
you hear
step.
That?
They thought Euro step.
J.D. Thompson got it right. That was a good call.
Yes.
Had to hustle down to get in position. Tied at 14, Harrison DeVoe at the high post left. He got away with the travel that time, but lost the ball anyway. Now we've got a whistle. The ball is kicked by Southeast, and Lincoln will get it, and that's probably what should have happened.
14 all with 6:36 to go in the second quarter. Timeout on the floor. Southeast calls it. We'll be back in a minute.
Salvaggio Steel is a proud sponsor.
He said a minute at first. Is Bobby Haley a police officer? People told me they thought he had some night shifts, and that's why he has been around.
Could explain it.
You know, I think paper when he and about 3 or 4 others were sworn in.
Would explain why he's not covered.
Tied at 14, Lincoln ball, 6:25 to play first half. Lincoln headed to the north end. Over to Bowlby for a right side 3, and the Railers have the lead. Edward Bowlby's second basket of the night. He is a 39% three-point shooter. That's his 43rd made.
Lincoln's first lead of the game.
And Bowlby now 1 ahead of block for the team lead on made 3. Southeast tries to get the ball left of the lane to Owsley, and Bowlby hustles down to the court, knocks it out of bounds. 17-14 Lincoln, 2 minutes into the second period. Southeast will inbound in the left corner. High lob out to Hill, back to the man who inbounded the ball. That was Isaiah Walton, but a defender, Bowlby, stepped in front of him and knocked it out of bounds. We're at about 80% capacity here at Scheffler Gym. Crowd has picked up a little bit. Had some stragglers who came in knowing for sure that that JV game was going to go overtime, so they didn't have to get here till 7. Senior guard Malcolm Pollard in for Southeast. He and Henry are the only seniors left on the roster. Pollard on the right side. He's starting to get a lot more minutes now. Double teamed in the corner. In all sorts of trouble. You want to stay out of the corner, but he gave it to DeVoe, who drives in and missed from the right side. He kind of forced that up. The rebound deflected out of bounds. They will give it to the home team, much to the disgust of the Lincoln folks in front of us.
We love the Lincoln fans, but they are generally disgusted with most calls that go against Lincoln.
Cranky. It's a cranky bunch.
They are a fanatical fan base.
Yep. And it comes to Andre Williams, and a reach foul on Olden, and he knew it. That's a non-shooting foul. Team fouls are 6 per side as the ball came into the little freshman Williams just inside the high post.
We're visiting this morning, John, with a former Lincoln broadcaster who is convinced the Railers will be playing in the Super Sectional at the Center in March. They're pretty good. They are really good. They're state ranked. this team, Southeast, or the Northside Pride, might have something to say
Yeah.
about that super sectional appearance.
Now, the shame of it is when you get right down to it that we can't have a couple of teams from this conference go beyond the sectional.
Yeah.
They'll all feed into that sectional in Mattoon, and we've got certainly a couple of teams with the talent to make it to Peoria this year. B.J. Hill will go to the free throw line meantime as he was driving left baseline, cut off and fouled. I'll be the second on Bowlby, and already the 7th on the team. Neil Alexander working official Dan Schieber from a seated position, but Neil's voice carries. And B.J. Hill gets a 1 in bonus. Staff carpet free throws, and the first one is good.
BJ has been Southeast's MVP through the first half of the season. He's a tough kid. Doesn't take anything from anybody. If they need somebody to go to the basket, he goes to the basket. They need a rebound, he gets the rebound. They need somebody can handle the ball in a tough spot, he's the guy.
Second free throw, no good long, so it's 17-15 Lincoln, and Conradi has the rebound for the Railers in red. Max Cook across the timeline. Southeast in a straight man. Cook comes left on the dribble, gives to Conradi outside the arc. Not likely to shoot from there. Conradi really doesn't shoot a whole lot, period. Ebelair, high post left to Conradi, guarded by Owsley. Outside left, Bowlby for 3, you bet.
Edward Bowlby is a streaky shooter, and he's on a good streak. He's made all 3 of these taken tonight.
Biggest early lead for Lincoln at 20-15, 4:54 to play first half. Andre Williams in front court. Good news for Southeast is they've had no trouble getting across the timeline. Pollard out to Williams, penetrates a bit. Back to Malcolm Pollard in the right corner. Williams and now left side Hill. Starts in on Bowlby, who shuts him down. Reverses field, turns to the top of the key on the dribble, and Hill gives to Williams right back to BJ. Left of center, Hill does not shoot a lot of threes. Backs it out on Will Cook, 4:25 to play. In the second quarter, 20-15 Lincoln, but Southeast very admirably here, patient in their half-court set. Williams top of the key, good drive into the basket, up on the rim, no good, but he'll go to the line.
We get Peyton Ebelair on a reach in as the little freshman Andre Williams went past him in the lane. 20-15 Lincoln, 4:16 to play in the half.
And Andre Williams at 5'6" will tuck in his jersey, and it will almost disappear into his shorts. Long shorts for a kid who's only 5'6". Speaking of long, the first free throw goes long. And Southeast, which is a 62% free throw shooting team on the season, is just 1 of 5 tonight. That's no way to try to pull off an upset. 4:16 to go second quarter. It's 20-15 Lincoln. And Williams is going to be a very good player. Missed again. Rebound tapped into the corner. DeVoe gave a shove to Bowlby, but Bowlby was able to save it into Cook. Now Lincoln now is clicking, and they're up 5 midway through the second quarter. Get it on the right side in front court to Will Cook from brother Max. Now Max has it left of center. Max Cook drives around Andre Williams to Will Cook on the left side out to Bowlby. Up top Ebelair, right side Conradi. You have to talk quickly to keep up with these perimeter passes for Lincoln. They'll lull some defenses to sleep too. Now Max Cook, a one-on-one drive, gives the left side Ebelair out to Conradi for 3, that's good.
About 17, 18 feet from the basket on that left baseline.
I'm going to call that a 2. They'll say he had 1 foot on the line, so
I think
yeah.
he had both feet inside the line, but that was a good shot.
22-15, Henry to Walton, there's a 3, and it's good.
They need more of that, Southeast.
Isaiah Walton splashes it in from right of center, and it's 22-18. Walton has made 17 of 58 threes this year.
Lincoln had been on a 10-1 run until that basket by the freshman Walton.
Walton has taken only 8 field goal attempts inside the three-point line. Max Cook had the key with Lincoln up 4 and 3:05 left in the second. Gives to Bowlby, back to Cook, right of the jump ball circle. Fades left on the dribble, backdoor bounce pass. Ebelair, corner right to Will Cook, and he drills a 3.
Now they're all making them.
That is the 3rd made 3 of the period and 4th of the night for the Railers, who dropped in 8 against SHG last night. 25-18 Railers. B.J. Hill cut off on the left baseline. They reverse it to Walton. Right side 3, splashes down.
2 in a row for Isaiah Walton to keep Southeast within range.
Coach Alexander stands for one of the few times in this half and barks at his defense. He didn't like that.
Now they saw him shoot at Collinsville, Isaiah Walton.
Here's Max Cook driving to the basket, laying it up and in with a friendly bounce. He'll have a chance for a 3-point play.
Lincoln can't miss now. 27-21 and one for Max Cook with 2:26 to go in the half.
His first basket of the half, Tim, but he's a guy that doesn't have to score to be a major contributor for this Lincoln team.
27-21. You can make it 28. John, I told you Illinois was down 21. Now they're down 10. They've made a little bit of a run late in the half over in Champaign.
Free throw for Cook is in and out, no good. DeVoe got jostled, but somehow comes up with the rebound for Southeast. He almost coughed it up. And now we've got a whistle and a foul on Will Cook, and that'll send Hughes, whom he was hawking in backcourt, to the line for a 1-and-1 at the opposite end.
Mentioned the Illini rallying from a 21-point first half deficit with about 3 minutes left, make it 2.5 minutes left in the half. 36-26 Iowa at Champaign.
D'Angelo Hughes hits the free throw.
By the way, if you want to listen to the Illini game, shut us off and tune in 96.7 FM.
It's being done anyway, so you may as well flip over to 96.7 and get something out of it. Hughes has scored 4, 72% at the line, and his second staff carpet free throw is good, and the Southeast fans can breathe a sigh of relief as somebody has hit some free throws. Now Southeast within 4, 27-23, 2:10 to play first half. Ebelair in front court left side, guarded by Walton into the paint.
There you go.
Right side to Bowlby. Look out, he got it.
Red hot.
Boy, he has not had a hand in his face on any of his made threes this quarter.
4 for 4 on baskets and 3 for 3 on threes in this period.
30-23, Bowlby averages 11.5, second high on the team. On the right side, Walton, right of the lane, Henry, who's back out there with 2 fouls. Up top, Hughes, that's a big three, but it's no good. Rebound to Henry. Left of the basket, puts it up and in, but Dan Schieber will say a foul before the shot. It may not be Henry who's got 2. It may be Sabri Bakari.
No, it's on Henry.
It is Henry, and that'll be his third.
Tough call.
And that gets a sarcastic standing ovation from the aggrieved Lincoln crowd.
Jalen Henry's third foul with 1:42 left in the third on a play in which he scored and doesn't count.
Yeah, Lincoln, the officials have had the audacity to call 9 of 17 fouls on Lincoln. Look out, 3 for Will Cook, nothing but net.
They can't miss.
Right off the right side, and Tim, they're barely hitting rim on these.
Up by 10.
33-23 Lincoln, that happened in a hurry. 1:23 left in the second. And Jalen Henry has departed for Darius Owsley.
Lincoln has missed 1 basket in this quarter.
Walton has the answer. Another 3 for the freshman off the right side.
3 for 3 on threes is Isaiah Walton, and he's the only reason Southeast isn't getting blown out.
It's a kid who wasn't even dressing varsity the first time these teams played. 33-26 Lincoln, a minute 3. Ball deflected out of bounds back at the Lincoln end by a Southeast defender, B.J. Hill, who went down to the court in the paint to get that ball away from a Lincoln corner shooter.
Lincoln's 8 of 9 from the field here in this quarter.
Wow.
They lead by 7, 33-26, 1:01 to play till halftime.
Max Cook gets it out to Conradi. He almost threw it away, sending the ball to Ebelair near midcourt. Hill got in the way of that pass and deflected it out of bounds. 58 seconds, 33-26 Lincoln. It's a big final minute of the first half. If Lincoln can get it back to 10, that might be all she wrote.
They shoot like this, how do you beat them?
Yeah, well, you got to get out and guard them. Max Cook down the lane, left side into the corner, but they get it from Austin Cruz to Will Cook and now Conradi. Austin Cruz outside the arc left side gives to Ebelair with 40. He penetrates. Over to big Adam Conradi on the left sideline. Now to Max Cook. Max Cook dribbles in. He reverses the ball right side. They continue to pass the ball.
Smart. That Max Cook, he thought he was going for a layup. Owsley and Bakari came at him, so he just flipped the pass out on the wing.
And Max Cook will reset perhaps the end of the half play with 20 seconds as Neil Alexander stands for one of the few times here in the first half to direct the offensive traffic down to 14.
You think Cook on this final shot?
I think they're going to get a 3 from somebody else. Well, you were right. Max Cook took it to the basket left side as the defensive C parted, drew the foul from left of the basket and will shoot 2.
5.6 seconds to go in the half. Lincoln did what Lincoln does in this quarter, make shots, including threes, and play solid D, except on Isaiah Walton.
Yeah, they've lost him 3 times.
Yeah.
And that's the main reason that Southeast is still within shouting distance. That foul, by the way, is the 3rd on Hughes. So both Hughes and Henry have 3. They're the top 2 scorers for Southeast. Max Cook's free throws on the rim and in. He scored 3 points, but his value to the team this half has been much greater than that would suggest. He's going to come out here if he makes the second free throw. 34-26, and he did. 35-26.
Remember when I told you
Tyler Horsham.
Illinois was down 21?
And then 10, yes. I remember
they're down
both of those
4.
things. Wow.
38-34 Iowa, under a minute to play in the first half in Champaign. Quite a comeback.
New strategy for John Gross. Sandbag for 10 minutes and then go. Terry Thompson had a brief discussion with LT at the Southeast bench.
See who gets the final shot for Southeast if they get one.
5.6 seconds, length of the floor, down by 9. Across half court with 3, it's Hughes. Drives in, floats it up there, it's on the rim, no good. And he slaps his hands together in frustration after it falls off the rim. A standing ovation from the visiting crowd for the Lincoln Railers as they head off to the locker room up by 9. They outscored Southeast by 11 in a hot shooting second quarter. 23-12 Lincoln in the period, 35-26 Railers at the half. We're at Scheffler Gym on a Saturday night. Take it easy if you're out on the roads tonight. They're going to get cold and very slick late this evening. We're back after this timeout.
You're looking for the Illini game on this Saturday night. They're over on 96.7 FM. Illinois playing host to Iowa. On 96.7 The Boss, they have reached halftime with Iowa leading Illinois 40-36. We've reached halftime of this Central State A matchup between state-ranked Lincoln and the Southeast Spartans here at Scheffler Gym. And the Railers lead at 35-26 over Southeast at halftime.
Lincoln got red hot in that second quarter. 3 made threes for Bowlby. And each of the Cook brothers made a 3. I had given one inadvertently to Will Cook that belonged to Max Cook, so they each made a 3, and Max Cook has 7 at halftime and Will Cook 3. Individual scoring for the Railers. Edward Bowlby is almost at his per-game average. He had an 11-point first half with those 3 threes in the second period. Max Cook scored 7. Tyler Horsham added 5. Gavin Block got into early foul trouble and sat after he picked up his second. He scored 5, all of them from the free throw line. Will Cook 3 and Joey Olden had 2 for Lincoln. For Southeast, they were led by their freshman reserve Isaiah Walton, who came in and knocked down 3 threes. He had 9 in the first half. Andre Williams and D'Angelo Hughes with 5 apiece. Jalen Henry with a big rebounding half. He scored 4 points. But both Henry and Hughes come to halftime with 3 fouls, and that's not good news for Southeast. DJ Hill had the other 3 for Southeast and made 2, and a free throw for the Spartans as well. Southeast made only 3 of 8 at the free throw line as Lincoln was making 7 of 8. Southeast actually led at the end of one quarter and was playing pretty well, 14-12, but Lincoln couldn't miss for a stretch there in the second period, and the visitors outscored Southeast 23-12. They lead the Spartans here at halftime, 35-26.
Second half is 3 minutes away on Sports Radio 1450.
Made threes, and Max Cook has 4 points. He did not make a 3. He had a 2 and 2 free throws. That's the older brother, Max Cook. So again, the Lincoln points: Bowlby 11, Will Cook 6, Horsham and Block 5 apiece. Max Cook scored 4, and 2 each for Olden and Conrad for Lincoln.
Springfield High leads Taylorville after 3 quarters at Dewey Gym, 41-31. And what was the SH2 Rochester score, John?
And we thank Jim Rupert for that update. 30-22, Sacred Heart Griffin at halftime at Bell's Gym. Southeast basketball, they head to the north end to our left. They're down by 9 to start the second half. On the right side, D'Angelo Hughes pulls it down, runs to the baseline, and floats it up and in with one hand. Very nicely done by Hughes, who has scored 7. 35-28, Southeast within 7. They didn't guard Horsham, but he missed a 3 off the left wing. That one scooped around the rim and flew out into the hands of Bakari. Hughes to Hill, head of the key at the other end. Left side, Andre Williams, out front Hill, back to Williams, and now to Hill. Right side to Hughes, pulls it down, shoots for 2, airballs it, rebound tapped twice, and Lincoln's Block has it. To Olden, 2-on-2, but he backs it out. Out front to Block, who doesn't have a field goal yet. Corner left, Horsham, right in front of Zach Kirker. He's got the videography work for channel1450.com tonight.
Wonder if he's driving the expedition.
Well, I know you and I aren't. Here's Gavin Block losing the ball at the free throw line, but a reach-in foul on Hill as he tried late in the transaction for his steal, but couldn't get that without contact. We haven't mentioned tonight, but LT is in a very attractive gold, Southeast gold sweater.
Looks great.
LT is kind of the Bill Cosby, sartorially, of local coaches. He usually goes with a sweater.
They all look good.
And he's got a lot of them, because I haven't seen that one.
Good.
Olden gets it in the lane to Bowlby, right of the lane Block, double teamed by Hill and Henry, put it up on the rim, no good. Good defense by Southeast. Bakari rebounds. Spartans down 7 run. Williams out to Hill, back to Williams on the left wing in front court, now Hill and Hughes. High post right to Henry, ball fake, in on Block, 2 ball fakes, a shot is good. So that's 6 for Henry, who's battled foul trouble tonight. 35-30 as Southeast has scored the first 4 points of the second half to get the Lincoln lead down to 5. 6:15 in the third. Max Cook, left of center, penetrates his zone. Left corner, Bowlby for 3, on line but no good. The rebound to Max Cook, he lost it though. Hill picked his pocket, and Neil Alexander throws his hands up in disgust.
Bowlby's first miss.
On the left side, Andre Williams for 3, no good. That would have brought the Southeast crowd to its feet, but it didn't go. Bowlby rebounds, and Lincoln up 5 comes to forecourt, looking for their first point since halftime. Horsham on the left sideline. Brings it out to midcourt on Sabri Bakari. Hands off to Block. Hard drive into the lane. A reach-in foul. Bakari, very tight foul call. Terry Thompson made that call, and that one has been made a lot more this basketball season than the preceding ones. Calling the hand checks as a point of emphasis this year. It's the second on Bakari. 35-30 Lincoln. They send it way up top to Horsham. A shot partially deflected by Bakari, who came from about 10 feet away. And Henry has the rebound for Southeast. What a leaper Bakari is. Now Bakari gets the ball, drives left baseline, and banks it up and in.
That's what Bakari's got to do. Get to the glass, because he can sky above everybody and put those shots in. He's not a good shooter from the outside. He's got to go to the window.
35-32 Lincoln. Max Cook has his shot blocked at the rim left side by Henry. Southeast could come within a point or maybe even tie this trip. Henry gives to Hughes, right corner to Williams. 5:05 to go in the third. Southeast comes out hot. Henry drives in. He got off balance and flipped it over the rim. No good. Shot it from the left of the rim, and it wound up in Bowlby's hands to the right of the basket for Lincoln. Lincoln up 3. Gavin Block to Max Cook on the left side in front court, into the corner to Horsham. Out of long range to Olden. He hasn't shot much this weekend, but he can heat it up. Low to Block, misses from right of the basket, but he'll go to the line. Good entry pass on the side, thrown there by Max Cook.
4th foul on D'Angelo Hughes of Southeast. Remember, he picked up that late foul in the first half, his 3rd, and now gets one here in the first 3 minutes of the second half.
Coach Thomas looks down his bench for his sub as Gavin Block's staff carpet free throw, rims up around and in, and he's 6 of 6 from the line.
76% on the season and 100% tonight.
Isaiah Walton, who with those 3 threes in the second quarter, comes on for Hughes for Southeast. Walton, the freshman, 6 feet tall. Second free throw for Block is good. He is backpedaling as soon as he released that free throw. All 7 of Gavin Block's points at the free throw line. 37-32, Southeast down 5 to forecourt. Bad pass by Andre Williams in the lane, intercepted easily by Bowlby, who was playing free safety on the night before the Super Bowl. Block head of the key for 3, no good. Rebounded by Hill. Southeast caught a break, come to forecourt. Hill double teamed on the left baseline, turns heel, comes back to the middle of the floor. Andre Williams right side, right of the lane, Henry, skip pass to Hill, brings it down, shake and bake dribble drive and some contact on the court. They'll get Bowlby before Hill released that shot.
The 3rd on Edward Bowlby of Lincoln. 4:10 to play in the 3rd quarter. 3rd personal foul on Bowlby, and that'll bring Conradi off the bench for Bowlby.
Well, this Lincoln team is on a record pace for fewest points allowed for a Railers team. They give up an average of 35, and Southeast is sitting on 32. Could they make it 35? Nope. Hill missed well short on a 3 out of the left corner. And Block has the rebound for Lincoln. Cook to forecourt. And a reach-in foul, stopping his progress. I think they got Bakari for another hand check. Yep. That'll be his 3rd, and Southeast is accumulating some foul trouble here. 2 of their starters with 3, and Hughes on the bench with 4. Pass in the lane, good reaching catch by Conradi, who has re-entered, the big guy. Over to Max Cook, right of center. Lincoln by 5. Backdoor cut by Block. Cook found him. He got stuffed, but a foul. Henry can't believe it. Block will shoot 2, and Jalen Henry now is 1 foul away from calling it a night.
He's been aggressive tonight at both ends of the floor, and 4 personal fouls reflective of that. And Gavin Block, who's perfect at the foul line tonight, gets 2.
Lincoln has only missed 1 as a team. They're 9 of 10 and now 9 of 11.
As he finally talked him into a miss.
Rims out the first. Harrison DeVoe will come on for Henry. So Henry and Hughes both out of the game for Southeast, and we'll see what this lineup of Hill, Williams, Walton, that's 2 freshmen out there, DeVoe and Bakari can do it. It's going to be a challenge for this group. Second free throw for Block is good. All 8 of his points at the line, 38-32 Lincoln, 3:45 to go 3rd quarter. They'll step up the pressure, but Southeast has no trouble getting it across the timeline. Hill on the right side, left of center to Williams, back to B.J. Hill. Andre Williams head of the key, dribbles around his screen, gives to Hill, right baseline drive, cut off, bumped and fouled by Conradi.
BJ kind of worked himself into position to draw that foul from Conradi as he made a stutter step, moving along the right wing and stepping toward the baseline, and he forced Conradi to make a move at him as he crossed over and bumped him.
As you said in the first half, that's probably what BJ does best. Take the ball to the basket. Isaiah Walton over to Andre Williams on the right side. Into the corner to Hill, spin move, but stopped on the baseline. Out to Williams, right of center, buries a 3.
He had a good look.
That's his second 3 for Andre Williams tonight, and he and Walton have combined for 17 points, 38-35 Lincoln. It's down to 3. 3:05 to go 3rd quarter. Block head of the key, around Bakari, sends the pass left side to Conradi, but back out to Horsham on the perimeter. Tyler Horsham down near the jump ball circle. Backdoor cut by Cook, who catches the pass, but turns and gives up top to Horsham. Now to Block, circles in, got away with an extra step and lays it up and in.
Yeah, he really did. His first made basket of the night probably should have been a travel.
That's 10 for Block. He has 8 at the free throw line, but he did shuffle a couple of feet without dribbling. 40-35, Bakari juggled the ball left of the basket, gave right corner to Walton, who hits another 3.
Great decision by Bakari to flip it to Walton wide open in the corner as he juggled the ball.
Yeah, Bakari would have had a layup but for the juggle, so they get 3 points where they probably should have scored 2. 40-38, Lincoln by 2. Ball fake Block. Left side Conradi flipped it up with finesse, no good. The rebound was tapped to Hill, and he was standing apparently out of bounds.
No, he was not. J.D. Coleman got confused by where the end line is. BJ never went out of bounds. Never.
Ebelair for Horsham. They do have kind of a false end line here.
Yeah, the
At
official
each
got
end.
confused.
Yeah, now Southeast got confused on the inbounds. Olden went backdoor and had an uncontested layup. 42-38. They do have kind of a double end line, and it can be confusing for players who aren't used to it and sometimes for officials. Walton, a right corner three. This one was on line but long. Lincoln keeps the 4-point lead as Ebelair, who has returned, tracks down the rebound. Now blocked to front court. Left side Ebelair alone for a three, and that's good. Boy, you just can't give him that much time.
It's his 10th made three of the year.
Ebelair averaging 2.4 off the bench, 45-38 Lincoln, a minute 38 for the third. Walton on the right side, out front to Williams. You're going to see a lot of those two youngsters for the next 3 years after this.
Oh, my.
Walton, an NBA three, headed halfway down, but it popped out.
He was almost on the sideline.
Rebounded by Conradi, Lincoln up 7. Block, hard dribble drive, right side in front court, gives to Olden. Back to Block on the block. To Olden right side, back to Gavin Block. Around Bakari, a great spin move, and the layup is good.
Beautifully done by Block. Beautiful.
Gavin Block has 7 in the quarter and 12 on the night. 47-38 Railers, a minute 2 third quarter.
7 straight for Lincoln to build a 9-point lead.
It was 40-38 just a moment ago before the start of that run. BJ Hill, perimeter right side. Brings it out to just right of the jump ball circle. Corner Bakari, he's fouled by Conradi down on the court.
47.9 seconds left in the third quarter. Conradi's foul number 2.
It's the third on the team. Olden departs for Will Cook, who hit a couple of threes in the first half, we finally decided. Kept trying to give one of them to Max Cook. Will Cook and Max Cook both out there with, naturally, 3 others for Lincoln. They are playing 5 at a time still. BJ Hill, top of the key, stutter stepping drive, left side, Williams for 3, no good. Rebound out long to Will Cook for Lincoln with half a minute to play, and the Railers are back in control. Probably play for 1 here as they head to the south end. Pass on the right side to Will Cook with 20, up top to Gavin Block. Now Conradi hands off to Will Cook, then Conradi sets a screen. They almost threw it away in the corner. Ball deflected out of bounds by Walton of Southeast on a pass intended for Ebelair.
Ball disappeared under the bleachers. Find a small child to go retrieve it.
There's a very thin corridor between the steps that lead up to one of the corner offices there on the end of the bleachers, and they did ultimately retrieve the basketball. Lincoln gets Bowlby back into the game, so look out. They may call his number. 15 seconds to play third quarter. Will Cook gives to Max Cook out near midcourt. Guarded by Andre Williams. On the left side to Ebelair, back to Max Cook. 5 seconds, they've got to go. Max Cook will shoot the 3 as his defender slipped. It's on the rim twice and no good. Rebounded by Bakari. So each team scored 12 in the third quarter. We'll head to the fourth here at Scheffler Gym. It's Lincoln 47, Southeast 38. Back in a minute.
WFMB Springfield Chatham.
Well, this is an interesting group that Southeast has to start the fourth quarter down 47-38 as Malcolm Pollard is out there. Here's Cook with the alley-oop lob pass. Bowlby was bad angled, came down, reversed the layup, got fouled, and has a chance for a 3-point play. Coming out of the break at the start of each of the last 2 quarters, Lincoln has run their patented alley-oop play. It looks like the passer, typically Max Cook at the head of the key, is taking a three, but actually it's a pass just to the side of the rim. That time Bowlby brought it down, knew he was at a bad angle, drew the contact on DeVoe as he came back up. And Lincoln has built an 11-point, and now a 12-point lead as Bowlby hits the staff carpet free throw.
Their biggest lead of the game, 50-38, just underway in the fourth quarter. Lincoln up.
And Jalen Henry returns, and they throw the ball over his head off his fingertips and stolen by Cook at midcourt. Henry with 4 fouls. Hughes still on the bench with 4 at the moment. They'll have to get him back in shortly, you would think. Southeastern a man. Gavin Block, left side drive, got to the rim easily and laid it up and in.
And the Railers start to pull away.
Well, Gavin Block was having an off night at the start of the game, but he's up to 14 points. 52-38, and they did the same thing. They threw it over Henry's head, and that's hard to do. Another Lincoln steal. Bowlby at the head of the key with the Railers having some fun now, up by 14. They run the weave, give it to Block, drives in, put it up and in. A chance for the three-point play as he taps his head, which got clocked on the way to the rim.
Isaiah Walton on the foul. 7:07 to go, and just like that, Lincoln is up 16, and it'll be 17 when Block makes the free throw.
Hughes and Hill re-enter for Southeast, so they've got a lineup that has a more conventional look. Although really, if you think about it this year, they haven't had conventional lineups to speak of on a consistent basis all year because of player departures and players being elevated from the JV. But they've got a more veteran team out there. Block hits the free throw, and boy, he had just 5 at halftime. He's up to 17, which is over his per-game average.
He had a very slow 3 quarters against Southeast the first time and came alive in the fourth, and looks like a repeat tonight.
55-38, Henry lost the ball, got it back, right to the basket, put it up and in, and Jalen has a chance for a three-point play. 8th point for Henry. 55-40 Lincoln, 6:55 to go fourth quarter. If Lincoln wins tonight, they called that foul, by the way, on Block, his 3rd, but his first since the first quarter. If Lincoln wins, they'll go to 10-1. They've still got to play the other 3 city teams. Taylorville, and then that makeup game with Glenwood coming up in a week and a half. Free throw for Henry is no good, and Block clears for Lincoln. Lincoln will be a game and a half behind Lanphier. Lanphier is going to beat Taylorville tonight to move to 12-0, 13-0 in the conference. Max Cook drives in left side, puts it up and in. Be 12-0 for Lanphier if they win tonight, and they had a big lead early on Taylorville. 57-40, Max Cook made that look easy. Lincoln by 17, 6.5 to play. B.J. Hill, left side, Walton lets it go, and it splashes through again. What a night for Isaiah Walton.
He's been one of the few bright spots in the second half for Southeast. Timeout Spartans, 6:21 to go in the fourth. Lincoln 57, Southeast 43, back in a minute. 65-27, Lanphier after 3.
Who's looking good now?
Vision Care at North Grand and Prairie Crossing. Check out their Facebook page or visit vision-care.com.
57-43 Lincoln. This was a 2-point game late in the third quarter at 40-38. Isaiah Walton, the freshman rainmaker for Southeast with those high arching threes, has made 5 of them tonight. But Lincoln is securely in control, and they break a little pressure in backcourt, up 14. On the left side, Ebelair with the ball, out to Max Cook, deep on the left side. He brings it in, gives to Peyton Ebelair. Now to Max Cook outside the 3 line. They're working on the left wing. Up top it goes to little brother Will Cook, over to Ebelair, who got bumped. He drives into the paint and threw it away. Southeast runs off the Walton steal. Hughes angles in left side. His pass deflected by Ebelair, retreating defensively over the head of Walton and out of bounds on the side to Southeast.
It was only Lincoln's third turnover of the game. They take such good care of the ball.
Just very efficient, aren't they? They don't waste motions. They don't waste passes, dribbles. They're just fun to watch, not fun to play against. Henry low to Valentino Green, and the sophomore who just got into the game got clobbered, and May have hit his head on the bleachers in the north end zone.
His head or the small of his back, he went hard into the steps right at the base of the bleachers. They're aluminum, and that had to hurt. He gets up. Valentino Green is going to shoot a couple of free throws.
He was 15 when he hit the bleachers, and he feels like he's about 80 now.
No, they say he wasn't shooting, so.
Yeah, it's only 5 on the team.
No free throws.
Second foul on Max Cook, and Max didn't mean to do that. 57-43, Lincoln by 14. B.J. Hill gets it in left corner to Henry. High lob across, Walton for 3. He's hit 6 tonight. How about that? Isaiah Walton is putting on an exhibition. He has reined in, and I do mean reined in, 6 threes. And now a bump foul, and Henry's going to call it a night as he fouled Max Cook in backcourt. And that, for his 5th foul, was a cheap one. He probably should have held off there.
With 5:30 to go in the fourth quarter, Southeast senior Jalen Henry is dismissed on his 5th personal foul. And Max Cook, who almost never misses free throws, heads to the line at the other end for a 1 and bonus.
Lincoln's missed a couple tonight. They are steady at the line, and that is a typical Lincoln trait. First half carpet free throw for Cook is good. He has 7. He's moved ahead of Will Cook by a point. Gavin Block again leading the way with 17. Bowlby has 14. The second free throw is also calmly dropped in there by Max Cook. 59-46 Railers, 5.5 to go. Southeast across the timeline, into the left corner to Andre Williams. He's going to be double teamed. That's a tough place to be at 5'6". He was able to slam it off Max Cook's hip, though, and out of bounds at the end of the Southeast bench. Spartans will inbound. It's been an interesting week defensively for a Lincoln team that's giving up an average of only 35 points. They played very well last night, but gave up 47 to Sacred Heart Griffin. And here tonight, Southeast has scored 46. Only 3 teams have gotten as high as 50 against Lincoln all year. Driving layup by Hughes, no good off the right side. Lincoln rebounds and runs. Up by 13. Block in on Hill. Another 360. He got it. And he'll have a chance for the 3-point play. And Block has been unstoppable on that drive in the second half.
Fourth quarter money player, Gavin Block for Lincoln. Slow start scoring-wise in this game, but he had foul trouble in the first half. And here in the fourth quarter, he has put Lincoln in the driver's seat for another victory.
61-46. Missed that one long. Rebound in the corner, run down by Hill. Southeast down 15. Quickly ahead, Bakari, a good drive, but he couldn't finish. He missed the chippy, the short shot right at the rim. Rebounded by Gavin Block. 61-46. Lincoln's up 15, under 5 minutes to play. Max Cook, hesitating dribble drive, got to the rim. Nobody doubled down, and the left-hand layup is good. So 10 for Max Cook, and he's the 3rd Lincoln player into double figures. 63-46. Andre Williams floats it up over Bowlby off the left baseline. No good, and Block, who's getting it done at both ends, grabs the rebound. Rebounding is a challenge most years for a Lincoln team out of that 1-2-2, but Block and Bowlby, Conradi, pretty good rebounders. Max Cook gets a lot for his height. Here's Olden missing a 3 off the right side, but Horsham rebounds. He rolls it to Bowlby, who somehow picks it up after the ball was sitting on the court and being grabbed for, and lays it up and in. And this one is getting out of hand. Olden tried to take the inbounds, or at least the second pass, away from B.J. Hill. Deflected it up in the air, but the foul was called on Olden of Lincoln, with the Railers up 65-46.
Their biggest lead of this game. 19-point margin, timeout Lincoln. 4:07 to go. Back in a minute.
At Jersey Mike's, we're committed. who suddenly pop up and say they're a reliable and trustworthy contractor. Call Carpenters Local 270 for a free list of contractors you can trust. Take a skilled membership of the Carpenters Local 270 to work for you. Call 528-7571. That's 528-7571.
Raylers steal the inbounds pass. They're up 19, very much in control now.
Ooh.
Here's Block called for the offensive foul. He tried that spin move and ran over Andre Williams. Coming in on the left side of the offensive court.
Sure looked good, kind of almost ballet-like by Gavin Block, but Andre Williams was in his way.
That is 4 on Block. At this point, it's academic. 9 on the team, but because it was an offensive foul, no free throws. Williams dribbled the ball off the foot of Tyler Horsham at midcourt on the right side, out of bounds to Southeast.
We'll have Southeast next game on the air Friday. They play at Glenwood. Southeast at Glenwood next Friday night at 7:30 on Sports Radio 1450. Two teams that would appear to have no chance in the conference race, but still always an interesting matchup when the Spartans and Titans get together.
Southeast turns it over. They've got Isaiah Timms, a 5'7" sophomore in the game, and he threw the ball out of bounds near midcourt. Lincoln by 19. Here's Cook driving in, left side layup, toppled off the rim. Tough break, rebounded by Pollard of Southeast. LT's going to play some deep reserves now. There's a kick just across half court by Max Cook, and one of those deep reserves, Isaiah Timms, who's just earned a varsity uniform, will put the ball back in play. Isaiah played quite a bit in the preliminary game, won by Lincoln 49-42.
In overtime.
Yeah. About a half hour late on the start of this scheduled 6:30 game, in part because of that overtime game. Southeast throws it away. Tim's mishandling a pass from Isaiah Walton, who has made 6 threes tonight for Southeast. He's got 18 of their 46. 65-46. Lincoln has just one game next weekend. Take on Springfield High Saturday night. Drive to the basket by Bowlby off a good assist from Gavin Block, and Bowlby lays it in from left of the basket. He's got 18, and the Spartans throw it away. This thing's really degenerating now. 67-46 Raylers with 2:42 to play. Lincoln still has the starters out there.
Remember when it was 40-38 midway through the third quarter?
Yeah, that would be 27-8 since then. I do remember that. Now Coach Alexander brings a couple of reserves to the scores table. There's an open look at a 3 for Olden that's no good off the left wing. Valentino Green, great name, rebounds for Southeast. Almost everybody out there on the floor for Southeast now was wearing a junior varsity uniform only at the start of the year. There's a floater in the lane by Andre Williams. It wouldn't go as Bowlby hit the court, drawing contact. Max Cook gets it ahead, front court to Olden, turns and gives right side to Block. He's going to try a 3 and adds that to his repertoire tonight.
Big second half for Gavin Block and the Raylers, and it's 70-46.
Number 22 for Lincoln now has 22. Timms, a shot from just inside the high post left, is no good.
Good teams finish strong, and Lincoln is finishing strong in this one.
As Lincoln grabs the rebound and calls time to get the reserves in. We'll take a 30-second break and be right back.
Yep, 70-46 Lincoln, 1:45 to go. Raylers winning for the 21st time in 23 games.
One of the reserves who's in there is Coach Alexander's grandson. That's little Bryson Kirby, a 5'7" freshman. Remember, his big brother Austin played for this Lincoln team in recent years. Lincoln crowd is screaming at Bryson to shoot the ball, and he accommodates them, but missed the 3 from the top of the key.
Good look.
That would have been the biggest cheer of the night from the occasionally cranky crowd in front of us. Southeast basketball in minute 15. Isaiah Walton, boy, that's a 30, legit 30-footer, and he missed it off the right side.
Keep on chucking.
Walton's made 6 threes tonight.
Got that one.
All 6 of them from 25 feet in. He tried that one from 30, and it didn't go. A minute to play, Lincoln ball.
It did catch the rim and had a good shot to go in.
Yeah, looked pretty good. He's the rainmaker, Isaiah Walton. Lincoln basketball. Bobby Donofsky's in the game, 6-foot senior. Gives it up to Austin Cruz off the right baseline. He misses from 15, and Owsley has the rebound for the Spartans. Owsley up court, caught a pass from Timms. He'll go to the line as Owsley was knocked down by somebody who tried to take a charge courageously, Bobby Donofsky.
Finals in the CS8 tonight. Springfield wins at home over Jacksonville, 57-49. Over at SHG, the Cyclones beat Rochester, 62-38. Lanphier was rolling over Taylorville tonight. Last report, the Lions were up 30-plus in the fourth quarter. And here, Lincoln's going to win by a comfortable margin. A game that was close in the middle of the third, but close no longer.
Give John Staff and Staff Carpet one more plug as Owsley made 1 of 2 Staff Carpet free throws. He made the first, missed the second. 70-47 Lincoln. This was, as Tim mentioned a moment ago, a 2-point game late in the third quarter. Here comes Kirby dribbling. Passing the ball on the left side for Cruz. Deflected out of bounds by Green of Southeast, and we're down to 19.9. Southeast had a good stretch of about 3 or 4 years where they were getting the better of Lincoln on a fairly consistent basis, including some postseason games. But Lincoln's dominating the series now. Beat them twice last year, and they'll sweep the season series this year. The teams would not meet in the postseason unless they both win their regionals. Lincoln and Southeast both hosting regionals at the end of the year. Southeast gets a turnover as Green comes up with the ball in midcourt, but the game comes to an end. Lincoln uses 2 separate 23-point quarters in the second and fourth and pulls away to win it by 23 as they outscored Southeast in that final quarter 23-9. Your final score tonight here at Scheffler Gym, Lincoln 70 and Southeast 47. Back with the postgame show after this timeout.
At Fraser